Hi, welcome to my channel. I talk about crochet, knitting, books, ADHD, and sometimes a little bit of politics. Today I just want to get my WIP pile under control because it is massive and a bit overwhelming. And I realised that I've been really overstimulated recently. What I mean by that is everything around me seems to just be more than normal. You know, smells are stronger, clothes feel more abrasive, tastes are like too sharp, too sweet, noise really gets to me, changes in temperature. It's all just got me on edge. And the way I've been responding to that is just to keep mixing up my crafting projects. Like, oh, this doesn't feel nice anymore, so I'll try something else. Or, oh, I'm not enjoying this, I'll try something else. And what we've ended up with is just this massive epic pile. And also summer's kind of like, it's still here, but it's sort of coming to an end. And I just really want to start crocheting and knitting for autumn. And I know that if I take on one single more project, I will just be so overwhelmed and I won't get anything finished. So what I thought I would do is talk through all of my WIPs and how far along I think I am with them, but then also kind of make a bargain with myself of what project I'm going to make if I finish this WIP, like specifically autumnal projects. So the first WIP I have isn't actually here because it's in the freezer, because the other day I saw a moth. I don't even know if it was a clothing moth, but my life flashed before my eyes and I just was like, nope. So it's my beautiful, amazing, massive, lacy pride flag, which is based on this post by a Reddit user. It's not the same pattern. It's kind of like the virus shawl pattern. I'm really proud of it. I've been working on it for ages. It's in Paintbox yarn, and this one is on hold, not just because it's in the deep freeze, but also because Paintbox yarn are sold by lovecrafting.com, and the company's currently up for sale, and I just cannot get replacement yarn at all. I'm actually a bit freaked out because I've got a few projects that were really dependent on this. And yeah, with the pride flag, there's a couple of colours I need, and I'm just not seeing them come up as an option, which is alarming to me. But yeah, that one is on hold. So there's a lot of things that need to happen. It needs to come out of the freezer in one piece. The moths need to have left it alone. I need to get the correct yarn for it. So the project I'm going to do, if I finish the lacy yarn pattern, this is my promise to myself, is the 6-Day Star Blanket by Betty McKnit. So I've been seeing this for ages, and I think we're at a point now where people have done such experimental things with the colours that I finally, like the first few I saw, I was like, not really my style. And now I've got to a point where it's like the days are getting slightly colder. It would be really nice to have a little lap blanket to sit under when I'm like doing all my crafting and stuff. And I've seen versions of the Star Blanket now, which I'm like, yes, love those colours. This is going to be super cute, ready for it. But it's a similar project to the pride flag in that it's essentially repetition over and over again with minor adjustments. It's a similar size project in terms of the amount of wool and the bulk of it and everything. And I think I don't want to commit to another big project, which is what I think I would end up making this. So I'm actually writing this down. If I get the flag done, then I do the 6-Day Star Blanket. Good motivation, but also good motivation in that if I don't get the flag done, I feel like the 6-Star Blanket I'll be happy to do pretty much any time in the year. So it's not so much like one, like some of the things on my list are like, if I don't do this in the next week, I'm going to explode. Like, it's so perfect for autumn. I want to do this before it, like the leaves change and everything. Whereas the Star Blanket is like, it'd be nice for autumn, but I could do it another time as well. Cool. So the first WIP I have to show you in person. I'm pattern testing for the Skelly sweater. So I feel like the red is doing so much heavy lifting here. I didn't do the black and white because I always end up having to wash my knits and I just knew it would bleed. It's in Karen Super Soft. I hate this wool so much. Worst wool in the world. It smells weird. It feels weird. It doesn't feel weird like against me, but when I'm holding it, I've been working on this very slowly, basically. But I do love how it's coming out. This is the front panel. This is the back panel. Oh my God, literally just picking it up. It's like this synthetic smell coming off it, which it arrived like, and it's from Wool Warehouse, and I've ordered wool from there before, and I only ordered this yarn because it was in the pattern request. And it's just, but yeah, this is not pleasant. But I've done the front, I've done the back. My plan is, like, it's a Halloween jumper for me, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm picturing wearing it with a roll neck, so none of it is actually touching my bare skin. It's due for October, and I've just started on the first sleeve. I love that this is very anatomically correct. I feel like it's a little bit different to your normal skeleton sweater. The smell of it is really getting to me. Just the smell of this wool. I'm going to give it a big wash once I've finished as well, to try and make it smell like not the inside of a car. I reckon I'm going to finish this pretty quickly. And I was thinking, okay, but should that be like, if I finish this, I take on another pattern test? And it's like, no. I only ever, like, this is my first pattern test, and I only want to pattern test the stuff that I just love and will handle potential errors in a pattern in order to get to make it. And I love this. As soon as I saw it pop up, I was like, yes, I need to volunteer for that. But it just looks so good. It just looks so good. Doesn't smell good, but looks good. But I don't want to do any more pattern tests. So if I get this finished, I'm going to do one of the patterns that's got me really, really like, I just want to start it. If I get the Skelly sweater done, I am going to start doing No Feet Ghost Tapestry by Crochet or Cry. I just love these little guys so much. I'm excited to do it. I've got the black and white wool that'll be perfect for it anyway. I've not done anything by them, but I've seen enough videos of people doing their projects that I'm like, I think this is going to be okay. That's written down on my list. If I get this done, I'm doing the ghosts, and I'm going to hang them in our window, and I just think it's going to be a super cute Halloween decoration type thing. WIP 3, I do love this red, and I'm using a lot of it at the minute, it's my first ever shawl. So it's not blocked or anything, it's still work in process. It is the virus shawl, like that's what it's called. I really don't like that as a name. I do feel like there's a bit of a theme with a few of my WIPs where it's like, oh, this is what the flag is in, by the way. Like, I've been doing the flag in this stitch. It's kind of scientific, a few of them. You know, you've got the anatomically correct skeleton, you've got the virus shawl, although they also look like angry little owls or skulls. I started this at the beginning of the summer using this cone that I got from a charity shop for £1.50. Shoved it in the freezer first for a while just to check it was okay. I just love this as it is, to be honest. Like, I feel like I could finish this and would want to wear it. But part of me is also like, but would I want it to be tied under my chest and around, more like that? Or would I want to use this pattern but then do a jumper and keep this? Because I'm not a shawl wearer, but this is not what I think of when I think of a shawl. You know, it's bright, it's fun. I think it actually looks quite good with the leopard print. So I think, looking at it, I think I'm close to finishing this. I don't want to make it too big. You can kind of see like it's gone quite a long way. It's quite nice just to kind of like have it on me like this. I don't think, it's not really keeping my arms warm, but I think if I got like a cool, maybe like a silver pin or something for it, that would be quite nice. And it'll go with a lot of my autumn clothes as well, which I'm kind of like getting a bit excited to get out again. So I think this is another one that is almost finished. I could potentially, honestly, even finish it today, which might be a nice little win, because I do need that hit, that dopamine hit or serotonin hit or whatever you get for completing something. And then I will have all of this that I can use for another project. Cool. So if I finish this, and by finish I mean block it as well, future me, this is what I'm going to do next. So it's the Granny Peplum crochet pattern by Craft and Cuppa. With a name like Craft and Cuppa, I have to assume she's a Brit. The pattern is for sale in dollars, so I'm not sure. But yeah, basically I featured this in my trends video. It's just such a, like, just love a peplum, guys. I've got loads of random bits of cotton and loads of random acrylic, which I think would like work together really nicely for this. It's another one that I think it would be quite nice one over a longer sleeve top. But I could also wear it over a t-shirt like this on a slightly colder day, because I've recently, like, I don't know if it's like an age thing, but my arms get a lot less cold than they used to. It's partly because I put a bit of weight on them, to be honest, so they're a bit more covered now, I think. But I really want to go into autumn with like a good set of like little vesty sleeveless type tops to wear over kind of t-shirts with like 3/4 length sleeves and stuff. So that's another one that I will probably be starting quite soon. So this, I'm going to hold it random shapes and you're going to be like, okay, but what? So here's the first one. This is part of an ensemble. You might get it more when you see the next one. Yeah, I have not ever done any kind of amigurumi, but I am making this mobile. I will put the designer's name up. It's a free pattern, which I'm like, that's amazing. Basically, we've got some babies due in the family. I want to make some cute mobiles for them, and I'm also trying to do a kind of undersumption crochet type thing, which I might make a future video on. So I'm using all my ends to stuff this. So this is the balloon. I think that I've reached a point where I'm supposed to stuff it, but I don't have enough ends yet. This is the basket. I'm probably going to start on the clouds, but this is another one that is slightly on pause until I have enough to stuff the balloon, because I don't want to have to buy stuffing for it. Unlike the other two, WIP 4 is a bit more of a long-term project. So I'm going to pick something that I don't think is quite as seasonal, like I don't have to have it now. You know what, after I've done this as a present for someone else, I'm doing a present for myself. So if I finish the mobile, I get to start on the Shelver Half Mitten by Ellen Federa. I mean, I love these. I love the colours. They're very kind of autumn colours to me. Once again, I actually have acrylic that would suit these, but I kind of don't want to do them in acrylic just because I really hate the way it, like recently I've just got really like, I just don't like how it feels against my skin, which you'll see is a bit of an issue with some of my WIPs. But basically, I love a pair of fingerless gloves. They're kind of like one of my gateway items where it's like, it is pretty much just cold, but I don't want to wear full gloves yet. I'm not fully in winter mode. These look like they'd work up really, really quickly, and if I like them, I might make them for a couple of other people for Christmas and stuff. So part of me's like, should I make them a bit sooner? But no, because even if it takes me a while to finish the mobile, that's okay, because these are essentially more of a winter item, even though they're in autumn colours. So that was WIP 4. WIP 5 is very dainty and nowhere near being finished anytime soon, but it's kind of like an ongoing process, so it might be finished sooner than I think. Basically, so I kind of just made this pattern up myself. Little daisy. This is the Sorensen green cotton, and then this is the Rowan Glacé cotton. And I've been making these little squares just as I go. I'm involved in one of our local political parties, and I go to their meetings and stuff. And with my crochet, I really, really struggle to sit with my crochet. God, with my ADHD, I really struggle to sit and pay attention. So I went to my first in-person meeting last night. I've been to a few online ones, and I knew I had to take crochet. I cannot sit and listen to politics chat for 2 hours and not have something to do with my hands. And I was talking to my partner and saying, I don't know what project to bring. You don't often see people crocheting in public. I want them to take me seriously. Like, I'm on the exec board. I want to be taken seriously here, but I also need something to do with my hands. Otherwise I'm going to be pacing, constantly disappearing off to the loo for something to do. And also, when I am a bit bored, I have been known to start arguments. Not about stupid things. I can always find something that I care about, but you know, when you're just like, I'm just getting to know people, I don't want to kind of come across as aggressive and stuff. So I picked this, which arguably I have a bright pink crochet hook. I'm doing little flowers. It is the most gender stereotypical thing I think I could be doing. But I explained, hey, I have ADHD. This actually, having a physical activity to do with my hands helps me mentally concentrate on what's being discussed. Everyone seemed pretty okay with it. I got a few side eyes, but overall, I think that this is going to be my kind of politics project that I take along because it's super tiny. At the minute, I'm picturing it being a blanket for the same baby that's getting the hot air balloon mobile, because then it's like, can you imagine? Like, the little kind of blanket is like the field of flowers and then the hot air balloon floating above. Like, how cute. Baby's not due for a while, so we're okay. And I think I'm just going to keep working away on this, and then it might be one day I'm just inspired and just like make a load and actually get it finished. Or it might be the kind of project I'm still working on in 7 months' time. So with that in mind, I need to, if I finish that, I need to pick a project that is something that I do want to do, but I'm not going to be gutted if I don't get it done. You know, it's not the kind of thing where it's like, okay, it's a carved pumpkin, which apparently I'm going to start in April. The next one isn't very autumnal, but it's something I really want to do. But I think it'll suit this, and it'll be a good replacement project for this as well, because those squares are so good because they're so small and I can just take them with me. It's not I'm carting around a massive bag. And I think the doily bunting by Ella Sasha is going to be a really good replacement for them, and it's the kind of thing that I can do in lots of different colours depending on what time of year I pick it up. It might be I finish that blanket this week and then I do it all in autumn colours. It might be I finish the blanket in January and then I'm doing it in kind of like wintry spring colours. But yeah, doily bunting I think is what I do if I get the blanket done. WIP 6 is a bit of a beast, but I think I'm close to getting it done quite soon. So this is acrylic. It's based on, the shape is based on this pattern from Yarnspiration, and basically we have a bit of an issue with our recycling. Having moved house, we just got so much paper and cardboard. We've had 4 paper collections and still not had, like, it touched the size. We've got so much. This is going to be a recycling bag that I'm going to hang in the kitchen so we don't just have paper on every single surface, and then when this massive bag is full, that's when we know that we actually have to take it out to the bin. This is one where, so this is the front, and then I just need to do a massive square about this big for the back in plain. Like, I'm not looking to do any more colour changes for that. So I'm not particularly excited to do that. So this is one that I think I need to have motivation to finish. Like, I'm gonna pick a project that I'm very like, I want to do this one though, to kind of push me through and motivate me to do the big plain rectangle in this, which in theory will happen quickly, like it's just half crochet, but it's boring, so it might not happen quickly. This is WIP 6, by the way. Okay, so one that I'm super keen to do, and I've been putting off doing anything by it, is the Magic Sweater Set by Autumn Olive Crochet. I don't know if I'm going to do the little tube. I kind of really want to. I might put some straps on it. I mean, I talked to my last video, or the video before last, about trends, about how much I love a twin set at the minute, and I love the way this looks, and I love all of her patterns, but they are a bit expensive, and I just feel like doing one of her free patterns is going to give me such a good idea of how her patterns are set up, how good the patterns are. If I find it easy to follow, I will buy one of her other ones, because I want to do this cardigan with the flowers in the pockets and everything. But yeah, I wish more designers did this, of just making an actual decent project free, because most of them just do like a hat or a coaster pattern free, and you're like, okay, but I want to know how you write a jumper pattern. I'm super glad this is free. I'm really excited to try it. I feel like I'm gonna love it and just want to buy some of her patterns. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that is going to be good motivation for me to finish the paper one, because I'm going to be super excited to do that. It's definitely too hot at the minute to want to wear it, but I'm going to want to start on that in the next month, I think. I haven't thought about colours for it, but I kind of love the colour she's chosen, but I might also take apart my failed hexagon shirt cardigan thing and do it in those colours, because I do love those colours. I just don't like the way the hexagon cardigan turned out. Writing it down. Okay, WIP 7 is this. So this is the, I think it's the Valor Vest by Ed Svart. I'm sorry, that name really amuses me. So I've done the front. It looks great. I would love to be able to wear it. I've got the red that I'm going to do around the collar and at the bottom, and it's in Paintbox yarn, and once again they're out of this colour. Like, I am fully signed up. I've got the notifications on to get notified when this colour comes back. It's the tea rose. I love it. It's so beautiful. Like, this is actually coming across really well on camera. Like, this is actually what it looks like in real life as well. Pattern's fairly easy. It grew really quickly. And I've not had a single notification about this yarn, and I never see it for sale on eBay or anything. And I'm just getting a bit worried, like, what's going to happen with lovecrafts.com, guys, or loveknitting.com? Like, I need to know, because I've done the front. In theory, I could do the back in a different colour, but I would really like to just have it in the purple. It is a kind of summery thing, but also, like, realistically, I was never going to wear this without something underneath it. So I feel like it can still be an autumnal thing. I really want to finish this, but I just don't know when I'll be able to. And also, I haven't completely finished this side. Like, it's really annoying. I just need one more row to finish the front, and that's another reason why I don't want to switch to another colour for the back, because it's going to be that bit extra at the front as well. I'm gonna set myself a deadline of mid-October, and if Love Knitting haven't got this back in by that point, and I'm gonna email them as well and ask if they're getting it in, I'm just gonna have to do the back in a different contrast colour, I think, but I really don't want to do that, so keep your fingers crossed for me. Because this project is already pretty torturous for me, I'm gonna pick a project that I'm not as keen on but that is seasonal, because I don't want to be beating myself up like, but when am I gonna get to do it, man? So I want to do a scrap yarn beanie. I want to do it in really soft wool that will eventually maybe even felt over time. I don't want to felt it from the beginning, I can't really be bothered, but I want to do a scrap yarn beanie. I wanted to do one last year, I want to do this one this year as well. But yeah, I'm not like avidly on it to do this, but I think it could be really cool. So I'm putting down the vest for that. If I finish the vest, I get to start on the beanie. Okay, so now we're getting into the area of WIPs that you'll have seen before if you've watched any of my videos. So this guy, it was going to be a shirt. It would have been so good to have had over the summer. Honestly, I could still have it. And the only reason I stopped doing it is because I stopped doing it. Like, I just forgot to make it a priority. I've got all the wool I need. I feel like I started one of the front panels and now I can't find it, so I think I have like let that put me off it a little bit starting on it. But you know what, I'm not going to find the front panel. If I find the front panel, fine, I'll just frog it and turn it into something else. I want to get this finished, and I want to get this finished within the month because I think I've still got time to wear it. I think it was called like the Pretty Polo by Erin B maybe, but yeah. This one, I'm going to give myself a project that I'm really desperate to do and that is very of the moment, to force myself to get back on it, because I think I will finish it really quickly. It grew really, really fast. So that's WIP 8, and I think if I get that done, then I get to do the Bernat Autumn Acorns Garland, which I just think is super cute. You know, yeah, it's going to be up for like 10 seconds, but it's just really nice. Like, I just love it. I just think it's really cute. So yeah, I get the shirt done, I do the acorns. Cool. And then a couple of projects that sort of fell victim to me just not liking the way the wool that they're knitted in felt. So this is one, you'll have seen it before. This is going to be an oversized jumper. I don't feel any particular pressure to finish this, apart from the fact I've got a massive bag full of wool here. And also I'm a bit worried I'm going to forget what pattern it was, what needles I'm doing it in. Like, I can't remember if this is done in a smaller size needle than this, you know, like how sometimes you do the ribbing small. So this is one that I need to properly spend some time and attention on, and I think it's going to be stunning when it's done. And the good news is I would definitely not be able to wear it right now, so there's not the kind of extra pressure. It would just be nice to know how much of these acrylic colours I have left, particularly if I do the acorn garland, because I think some of them would be nice for it. So, and also I'm done with looking at this. Like, I'm ready for it to be finished. Like, I've been working on it on and off. I've been working on the set since Christmas, and I've been working on that since like May. So yeah, I'm ready for that to be done. But it's not urgent, so I'm gonna pick something that's cool, but you know, if I don't get started on it, I'm not gonna be devastated. So I'm going to pick Charisma by Martin Story. I love how elegant this is. It's a knitting project to replace a knitting project. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I see like all of the reviews of this project look really great, and I just feel like it's very, if I start it and finish it soon, it's going to be very autumnal vibes. It fits into that whole thing of the short sleeved kind of vest top pattern with something underneath. Yeah, and I just think you could do it in such stunning colours. Like, can you imagine it in a dark red for autumn? Or like a kind of like a grey, like a really kind of like misty grey, or maybe like a forest green. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? Okay, maybe I want to do this more than I thought, but yeah. If I get the pink cardi done, I do the Charisma. All right, and then WIP 9 is this guy. So this, I featured it in my video about knitting with black yarn and how for a long time I was a little bit uncertain about that. This is a very, very autumn project, isn't it? This is going to be a long black duster type cardigan. I've done one of the sleeves. I just need to do the other sleeve, but here's the thing. I did the other sleeve. Oh God, it's so witchy as well. You can't see, but it goes down really, really far. The wool actually feels quite nice, but I did the sleeve And then I realised that I'd made an error with this sleeve. And this sleeve is actually 10 rows shorter than the pattern says, but I don't know where I made the error. Did I just cast on too few stitches in the beginning? Did I do a double decrease at some point? I don't know, but here's the thing. I actually really like the length of these sleeves. Like, I don't want it to be longer. Can you imagine if it was longer? It would just not be a thing. Or it'd be like really long and floppy, and this is not the kind of wool that I think I could turn over very easily. So I basically just need to sit down and count all of the stitches on this to work out what I did wrong here so I can repeat it here. And then this is going to be done. And this is like, I can imagine myself answering the door on Halloween night and doing trick-or-treating in this, you know, with like a bit more effort with my outfit and stuff. But yeah, I did not expect this to be one that I would be so keen to finish, but looking at it, I'm just like, okay, I have to finish it soon. And I'll be wearing it at any time of the year, but I do feel it's very autumnal as well, so I want to have it ready for autumn. So I need to pick something for this that I'm super keen to do to kind of push me through it. I think if I get that cardigan done, I'm going to do the Dahlia Lampshade by Dana Hogan. So this I feel like is very evenings getting darker, cozy vibes. I actually have the lamp I've got 2 lamps that I want to do this on. I'm going to practice on this one just with like white as it is in the image, but yeah, I want to practice the pattern with this. And I just feel there's something about a fringed lampshade that to me is very like, it reminds me of living in Amsterdam when the nights are really dark and you'd go to one of what they call the brown bars, and it would just be like this warm glow coming out onto the street. And the really old ones would have like carpet on the table and stuff like laid out, probably not very hygienic, but it just felt very cozy. You know, you feel like you've walked into someone's front room. And I like the idea, like this is what the light I have in here on my desk because I'm in my home office. So I want to do some cream, but then I've got a bigger lamp that I would like to try doing in different colours. And I've got the cream for this as well, so I'm quite keen to get started on this. So this is a good one because I do want to do that one, so then I can start on the black cardigan. And I think that might be, I do have one more WIP. I've been working on this little owl granny square, but I've stalled on that because I feel like I've chosen the wrong wool, and it's not actually anything against the pattern writer, like the designer, but I just take the pattern. Like it's slightly different takes on how I do stitches, and I think I've tried a lot of new things recently and a lot of different stitches, and I'm at a point where I'm like, I just want this to be easy, and it's not. And I'm having to kind of like learn variations of how I already do stuff, and it's become in my mind a little bit like, I know once I finish this square, which I've lost, which shows you how committed I am to it. Once I've finished it, I'm just going to turn it into like a little owl planter, and it's going to look really cute, but I need to just sit down for an hour and just work through the pattern, work out where I've gone wrong, work out what's happening with it. Okay, so I don't have a pattern I'm going to do if I finish the owl planter, but I have been wanting to do like an autumnal wreath for our front door, because we have one of those doors that's like a door, like an inner door, and then a glass outer door, so it would be like somewhere to hang it. I wouldn't need to worry about it getting nicked, and I won't need to worry about the elements or anything, and I'm keen to do that. And can you imagine if it had like the acorn garlands hanging on it as well? But yeah, these are some of the ones that I have like bookmarked in the past and thought would be quite fun to do. So if I get the owl planter done, I get to do the autumn wreath. I mean, I know I can do any of these projects now anyway, but I think the plan is to just not start anything else new until I finish some of these things. And that actually takes us up to 10 WIPs, which I feel like is manageable. It feels more manageable than I thought it was, and a few of them are further along than I thought, and a few of them I actually have a lot more enthusiasm for finishing than I realised, so this has been really good. Like some of them I'm actually excited to get started on, so that's really nice. Having said this, I feel like I'm immediately going to just start another project, like for no reason. But yeah, I feel like this has been really helpful. Thank you for sitting around with me. Yeah, and I hope that maybe it's given you some inspiration for your own autumn projects, or maybe it's just nice to see someone else in chaos and feel like, yeah, you've got a handle on your own WIPs. It's okay. Yep, like, subscribe, do whatever you want. Bye.